Something I had a hard time figuring out when I was a beginner was how to send out beats to artists for them to rap and sing on. In this video, I'm going to do a walkthrough on how to properly prepare beats, how to send everything out, and just a few pointers here and there. So it seems that email is the best way to send beats out to people, so go that route. Don't tweet people your SoundCloud or YouTube links, just email them. I'm not going to get into how to get artists' emails. That could be an entire video on its own, but if you spend enough time digging, you can eventually find some emails. They may not be active, but it might be worth a shot. My personal advice is to try to build relationships with the artists that you like and eventually send them beats that way. In short, networking is huge for beat placements. If you watch a lot of the Genius Deconstructed beat videos, the producer usually says that they know a guy who's friends with the rapper, and that's how they get their beats out there. Okay, so moving on, you've got the emails that you want, you know who you're going to send beats to. There's a couple things you should consider before sending them out. The first thing to consider is installing Streak. So Streak is an email tracking extension for Google Chrome. It can show you if the recipient has opened your email and how many times they've opened it. Streak is totally free. It's super handy to see if the email you sent actually went through and the artist took a look at it. The other popular email tracking extension is called MailTrack, but don't use that. It leaves this big dumb watermark letting the recipient know that it's going to be tracked, and every time I see one of these emails in my inbox, I never open it. Another thing to consider would be to add in some sort of legal contract that states that you need to be paid before anybody can use the beat. There are a lot of videos on YouTube that go into depth on how to do this. You can also hire a lawyer if you're super serious about this stuff, but honestly, if you're watching this video, that probably means you're a noob, so you don't really need to worry about this quite yet. Moving on, so just send the artist MP3s. Don't send them waves or any other file format, just send them MP3s. This is because MP3s are way smaller of a file size than anything that's lossless, and you can send up a bunch of them in a single email. They don't have to download anything. They can just listen to them right there in the email. If you send somebody a bunch of Google Drive wave links, they probably won't take a listen to them. It's kind of a pain in the ass to do that, especially if you're on your phone. In some cases, this is it. I've had experiences where artists just rapped and released the MP3 that I sent them, but sometimes they want more, so moving on to the next step. So in the rare event that the artist actually replies, they will probably ask you for stems. So what are stems? Stems are each individual unmastered audio track that you bounce as a wave. So here's how to do that. It's pretty much the same in all DAWs. So the first thing you're going to want to do is turn off any compressors or limiters that you have on the master channel. You can leave any EQ or exciter that you might have on there. Then after that, solo one track, bounce it, and then do it for each track individually. Put them all into a folder and then zip the folder. I recommend bouncing everything at 16-bit 44-100. This is in some ways the industry standard for lossless music files, so just use this. Also, on a side note, I recommend bouncing and saving all of the stems for each of your beats on Google Drive or a hard drive or something. Bigger artists will most likely want the stems so they can be mixed in a professional studio, and in certain cases you will lose out on sales or placements because you never saved the stems for the project file, and I've experienced this a few times with some older beats before I started saving the stems, so I missed out big time and it sucks, so just start saving the stems. It's pretty good practice. So that's about it. And just as a disclaimer, I'm not a professional music producer. I don't do this for a living. I don't work with superstars. But these are pretty much all the steps that are taken when sending out beats to artists. It's given me some success so far, and it's helped me a lot to get my name out there, so this is what you should expect if you're a new music producer, you're looking to send some beats out. So good luck out there. Thanks for watching. Make sure to smash subscribe, and hopefully you learn something.